Someone give me the sunlight at a red light, and it's time to shed my skin. Oh God, I know. Icrt 365.
Hey, yo, it's Sweet Talk here on ICRT FM 100. I'm DJ Addy Longlegs, and I'll tell you what, it is not every day that I get to do what I'm about to do right now. That song we just heard, 24/7, 365. Guess what, y'all? I am sitting here in the studio with the singer of that song himself. It's Elijah Woods. Elijah, what's up? Welcome. Say hello to the people.
What's up? How you doing? Addy Longlegs is incredible. I feel like I've found my people. How tall are you?
You get it, yeah. I just a minute ago, you stood up, and I was like, "Oh, you're pretty tall."
No, we are tall humans.
Absolutely, it is so cool. I'm so excited. I'm always excited to talk to musicians here, but yeah. So we have a lot to cover here. You are in the middle of a tour around all kinds of places, Southeast Asia, and you got an album coming up. We'll get into all of that, but real quick, maybe for some of our listeners who are not familiar with you and your music, I was just wondering if you could kind of give us a general background story of yourself as a musician. Like, were you singing songs when you were 3 years old, kind of a thing? And
I was not. I never thought this was going to be in the cards for me. I grew up in a really small town in Canada, and I was always into sports. I played a lot of basketball, given the height, and I started DJing when I was like an early teenager, and I thought that was just so cool. And I was playing these festivals. I got invited out to a couple of festivals to play like these shows, and I was like, oh my God, this is so sick. Well, and I just didn't know that people could do that for a living. I grew up, my dad was is an incredible musician, and he played guitar and plays guitar, plays drums, sings, does the whole thing, and he was always encouraging me to do something with it, just because I think he wanted to like live vicariously through me. And but yeah, really talented. All my family's really musical, but I never like saw it in my cards. I really liked playing Rock Band and Guitar Hero when I was a kid.
Oh yeah, let's go. Guitar Hero 3.
Yeah,
I had that on Wii. Oof.
Yeah, absolutely.
Formative years.
Changed my life. And
well, just you mentioned your DJ. Did you ever get into DJ Hero?
Oh yeah, it was good.
That's what's up.
With the little scratch thing. It was like it was pretty good. It wasn't as like. I wasn't as good as that as I was at Guitar Hero. But Guitar Hero, I had like that old tube TV, and we would rip Through the Fire and the Flames on Icrt.
Oh,
and
let's go.
I would just
on
fall apart.
Icrt.
Yeah, I could never beat the end of it.
Oh, I love it. A gamer, a DJ, a musician. And so, yeah, you mentioned your family is very musical, and you kind of had that upbringing of just being around the music. And then you got into DJing. At what point did you kind of switch over to being more of the lead singer kind of a thing? Like,
the guy.
Was that like while you were DJing, you started like singing on a couple tracks too at the same time? Or like?
I started producing some music. I was producing a lot of music at the time, and then I got asked to produce for some dance music artists, and that was really cool. And I immediately like learned that the piece of it that I liked was the music creation and not so much the performing, like specifically with DJing. And I dove headfirst into that, and that led me to songwriting. And then I was in a duo for a number of years as like a producer, and then we had some success, especially like in Canada and the United States. And then during COVID, that band kind of disappeared, and I was like, what am I going to do with my life? Like, how is this going to happen? And I'd never sang before then, so I spent the next year trying to learn how to sing, and just like figured it out. So that was 2020, and then I put out my first song in 2021, a song called Lights, and did very well in Canada. And I was like, oh heck yeah, okay, maybe we'll make this a thing.
Let's go. Yeah. That's kind of an interesting story. I think a lot of singers and musicians of your caliber, you would expect them to have been singing since, again, a very, very young age. But that's so cool. You were like, okay, COVID, looking for something to do kind of a thing. Like, maybe I'll become a singer. Did you have formal training at all, or did you kind of just look up some YouTube stuff, or what? Like,
I watched a lot of YouTube. I have a really great vocal coach who's helped me sort of like find my voice and find how to not burn out, which is a big thing.
And I mean, touring especially. Yeah.
Now touring is the next extension of that. But I mean, I've always been like musical, and like I've always really liked it. And I think one thing that I recognized pretty early is my ear was ahead of my talents, and I could hear where I wanted to take my voice. I just didn't know how to get it there. Even when I was songwriting and writing for other people and producing and stuff, it's like I could always sing a melody and I could always do the thing, but I didn't like the sound of my voice. And for me, it was more about finding like, okay, how do I perform and how do I sing this song so it sounds like an artist, not just like some human covering a song. How do I find the Elijah Woods in this song?
Well, I think as an artist, really for music or really any kind of art, some people say it's like you are the first audience person, right? There's a smoother way to say that.
Your biggest critic, yeah.
But yeah, the idea it's like, if you want to get your art to a place where you are enjoying it and you're satisfied with it. So it's really interesting to hear you say you had that ear for it and you're like, okay, not quite. I know what I want to get. And hey, you have gotten there. Absolutely. I mean, here you are. You had a show last night here in Taipei, and I think we can definitely get a little bit more into the details and some more stories of your current tour in just a little bit here after a break. But I'd like to kind of talk shop specifically about that first song we just heard at the top of the hour there, 24/7 365. A lovely love song, and I'm a huge fan of love songs. Is there any specific inspiration for that? And as much as you want to share, you don't have to get anything too personal.
I'm an open book, brother. Yeah, honestly, I just gotten engaged, and it was feeling all those feelings and feeling really in the moment and very, very present. And then I woke up one morning, I was like in my boxers, and that melody kind of just came to me, and started messing around with it with a friend of mine, and all of a sudden had this like concept for like the visual treatment, which was like spelling out 247 365 through all the lyrics in the chorus.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's so much fun wordplay with the numbers and
and it's one of those ones that just worked. And immediately when I'd finished that chorus, I was like, oh, this is really special, and put it on socials, and it had like 6 million views within a day. And I was like, oh, maybe I should finish this song.
Whoa!
And it, changed my life. Let me travel the world, and brought me to amazing places, and everyone sings it every night, and it's just so much fun.
So would you say that is kind of if not the song, one of the big earlier ones that really kind of boosted you, into people's ears?
Definitely, definitely in Asia for sure. Yeah, which
right.
is awesome. So it's been amazing over here.
Yeah, awesome. Like I said, we'll get all into some juicy details about your touring adventures in just a little bit after the break. But before we take a break, we're going to check out another one of your songs. This one, I think it really resonated with me, and I think probably a whole lot of people. It's called 2010, and it's a bit of a nostalgic song, talking about, hey, take me back to the good times back in 2010. And so it's definitely not you who's feeling that. I think that's kind of part of the modern zeitgeist is looking back and being like, hey, a whole bunch has changed about our lives and the world in the last decade plus 2 decades. Seems so much simpler back then.
Yeah.
But yeah, in your own words, or just however you want to kind of introduce this song here before we take a listen together.
Yeah, 2010 was a really fun one to write. I wrote it with a few good friends of mine, and it was quite literally that. It was the world was kind of complicated and getting busier as you become an adult, and it was looking back on a simpler time, and really wanted to highlight kind of those motifs, as well as pay kind of homage to the music that I grew up with, which was like a lot of My Chemical Romance and like Limp Bizkit and like all the kind of like early 2000s kind of pop punk stuff. Yeah, but still keeping it like a pop song.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and certainly, I know there are some people out there who have that reaction of like, oh, pop music, I don't like. But it's like, hey, come on,
pop means popular.
Pop means popular. There's a reason people like it.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that at all. And I think kind of leaning into an appealing pop sound in no way means like, oh, you've sold out or something like that. So I just want to set the record straight. We love pop here at ICRT, but that said, it's not just it does when I listen to this music, I can still really hear, Elijah Woods. It doesn't sound like, oh, this is just like, AI could have just pumped this out. It's like some slop. It's like, no, there's a real heart and soul in the music here that I think really resonates. So, any final thoughts on this one before we let the people hear it?
I mean, I hope you love it. I hope if you haven't heard it before, I hope it's a good introduction to a different side of me.
Absolutely. Well, let's get it going here. Enough of us yapping on and on. Let's let the music speak for itself. This is 2010. And please, please, please do not go anywhere, y'all. I'm going to keep on having great conversations here with Elijah Woods. All you got to do is keep it locked into ICRT. Let's go. You better believe it's FM 100. I'm DJ Addy Longlegs. Thank you so much for tuning in to Sweet Talk. If you're just joining us, let me get you up to speed. We have been talking with Elijah Woods, a fantastic musician, and he has been on this tour all around Southeast Asia. We're going to get all into that. First things first, Elijah, you had a show here in Taipei last night. Can you give us some highlights from that?
It was incredible. It's my second time playing in Taipei, and it was so special. I'm so amazed every single time I show up to these places across the world, and there's like thousands of people waiting for me and like ready to sing the songs. It's such a surreal feeling.
That's got to be a surreal feeling.
It's weird, man. I write all this music in my in a bedroom or like a home studio, just like effectively by myself, sometimes with some close friends, and then the fact that through language and borders people are singing it back, and last night was no exception to that. It was one of my favorite shows I think I've ever played. It was fan energy was so good. They knew all the words to all the new stuff too, which is like so exciting.
You love to see that.
I put out a song on the 25th called Ghost on the Radio, and it like they were singing the entire chorus back to me, like without me even prompting them. I was like, do you guys want to sing with me a little bit? And then they just sang the whole chorus, and I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah, we got you. Yeah, no, that really is. I mean, well, kudos to you. You're obviously, putting out stuff that's resonating with people. And as you said, it's so cool to see that cross oceans, cross cultural boundaries, and all of that.
I feel very grateful.
Yeah, absolutely. And I always love to hear that artists have a good time here in Taiwan. Our music scene, it's not the biggest, it's not the brightest, but there's a lot of heart, there's a lot of passion out there.
I think there is. I think that sums it up for me. Every time I come here, I'm like, there's a different level of appreciation and a different level of like love and admiration for not even just the songs, but like the meaning around the songs, and like people attach themselves to certain lyrics in ways that I didn't think about before. Like people are really paying attention, and that means a lot to me. So shout out to everybody here just being the best.
Shout out to the Taiwan crew. What's up, Taiwan #1? And it's so cool that you have this experience of coming back here. It's not your first time here. So like hey, real quick then, when was your first time here in Taiwan?
First time was last May, and we played a smaller venue, I want to say Clapper Studio or something, and then last night was like double the size, which is just so exciting. It's just wild to watch it grow and develop, and people are still liking the stuff I'm putting out, which is just incredible. So feel very, very grateful for that.
To the moon. Let's go. Next time you come back, we'll double it even from what it was this time.
Next time, stadiums. Yeah.
Stadium. Let's go. That is really. It's just so cool to talk to you about your experiences here. But of course, Taiwan is not the only place on this tour. You have been all over already. Jakarta, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you can name drop some of the places you've been so far.
We were Manila. It was supposed to be Cebu, but there was a typhoon, unfortunately, so hopefully everyone stays safe here. I saw all the stuff for the flooding set up in Taipei today, so please be safe if it does flood. Manila, Cebu, Singapore, Jakarta, and Bangkok, and then Taipei, and then tonight we're going to Seoul, and then Tokyo. Where else? And then China.
I think I saw Guangzhou on there, maybe. Yeah.
Guangzhou, Shanghai, and
Hong Kong as well.
Hong Kong, yes.
Wow. I mean, that's just like, that's a lot of traveling. I think
it is a lot. Yeah, these guys keep me. I got a really good crew that I travel with, and they keep me sane. They keep me moving and keep me doing the thing, which is great.
That's crucial. I can only imagine, because never having done a tour like this or anything like that myself, I can just only imagine. It's thrilling, it's amazing, it's exciting, but it's also exhausting and kind of easy to maybe lose your rhythm, or kind of you're getting on planes, slamming over here, slamming over there, doing shows, pouring your heart out for these people. So it's great to hear you have a little crew accompany you to kind of keep you on the level.
It makes it fun for me. Like, I mean, I love playing the show. shows. But yeah, to your point, is some shows are great and some shows are good, and it's like the little in between moments where you're like exhausted and messed up that you need good people around you. And I think the weirdest part that I'm learning about, especially touring over here because it's all fly dates, is that you don't get to see anything. Like it's just like, well, be in Taipei for the show day, which is effectively I get up, I try to have breakfast, I work out, and then I go to the venue, and then I do sound check, and then I do VIP, and then I'll do an hour of vocal warm-ups, and then I play the show, and then I get off stage and have meetings, and then I go to bed, and then I fly out to the city.
You fly to the next one.
Yeah, which is wild. So the only thing I see is like the inside of radio stations, and I feel so grateful that like anyone wants to talk to me. But everyone's like, "Oh, what have you done in Taipei? Have you been here? Have you been here?" I'm like, "No, I haven't seen anything. Like I would love to see a mall. I'd love to see like a food court or something." But we did go to the night market last night, which was awesome.
That's what's up. Any night market highlights? Did you have anything tasty or weird or whatever?
As the schedule dictates, we were obviously so late, and we showed up at 11:15, and it was closing 11:30, so everything was like kind of shutting down.
Oh, okay, so you're like, quick.
Yeah, scallion pancake, which was kind of the one. What else did we get? We ended up going to some little bar and got some Taiwan beer, which was great.
Taiwan 啤酒, classic.
Classic.
And I'm glad you got one of those scallion pancakes there. 应该是说那个葱抓饼，好吃. Good stuff. Well, next time you're back in Taiwan, you're going to have to block out just a little, maybe instead of 15 minutes, more just like 30 minutes at least to explore a little more of the night market.
My team's got to hear this and say 30 minutes, please.
30 minutes. This is very important. There's a lot of, classic Taiwanese foods you got to experience. Well, I can imagine you're going to all these countries, trying to get just a little bit of that here and there between the super busy schedule. Yeah.
I am obsessed with Din Tai Fung though.
Let's go.
Which is the one, which is like absolutely that. We have one. The first time I had it was here last year. We went to the I think it's the original one. I can't remember what it's called in one area. And I had an interview there. It was my first time ever having that restaurant, and then now there's actually one like 30 minutes from where I live in Los Angeles.
Gonna say, yeah, I think there's one in LA.
And I've heard, there's one it's in Glendale, which is like 30 minutes from where I live, and we go, I want to say twice a month. Like it's so good. It's so good, and I just gorge myself. It's incredible.
It really is.
It's insane. My favorite is the spicy chicken. The chicken jiaolong bao is really, really good, but then I also really like their spicy chicken gyoza, maybe, or no, it's not gyoza. It's a spicy chicken. It's a soup dumpling. There's a name for it. I'm going to remember it halfway through this interview. It's incredible, and you have to try it. The reason I'm shouting it out is because one of my favorite things I've ever seen.
It's got the spicy oil
sauce,
on it.
Spicy oil on
it.
Yeah.
I think there might just be the spicy wontons. Wonton dumplings.
Yes.
Yeah.
Chicken wontons.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
They're cracked out. They're insane.
Well, that's cool. You got a little slice of that now back in LA.
I keep it with me.
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny. I have a friend who lived here in Taiwan for many years. Now he's based in California. He refuses to go to the Din Tai Fung in California.
What I will say, I've been to two other places. I've been to one in New York, and I've been to one in. We went to one in Singapore, and the best one I've had was obviously the one here, and then the second best is the one in LA. I don't know why. They're running a good ship.
There you go. They do. They run a tight ship. Absolutely. Shout out to Din Tai Fung. We love to hear it. All right. Well, let me see here. We're going to be taking a little break here in just a bit. We have a bit of time before that, and we'll be checking out another one of your songs. But before we get to that, Elijah, I just wanted to ask you, just in general, you mentioned already a bit about the touring experience and some of the things that kind of have stood out to you. But I wanted to ask more specifically, what's it like being here in Asia, different Asian countries, versus touring in the West or playing shows back in Canada, back in the United States? Any big striking things that come out to you as far as like the differences there? Yeah.
I think the biggest difference for me touring here is, one, there are a lot more phones out, which is like a wild thing. Everybody's recording the whole show on their
whole
phones,
show,
which is like really cool, because then it's like I'll go back and rewatch all the clips and be like, oh, that song sucked tonight, this song was really good tonight, and I get all like the instant feedback, which is really incredible. But I also think there's a level of care and presence put into, if people are coming to a show here, they're really, really doing their research. Like they're doing their research on like, oh, I'm going to listen to all his songs tonight, or I'm going to make sure that like I know what I'm wearing, and like I'm going to have a message prepared if they're coming to the meet and greet, and like the whole thing. Like I think there's a level of
like preparation, dedication.
Yeah, people care on like in a different way here, because it's not. I mean, maybe it's because there's like, I don't know, maybe less shows or like less Western shows coming. In general, I don't know why, but I always feel like there's a massive level of care and intent put into people coming to the shows and just trying to say hey and trying to be present and trying to like make my night more fun, which is so special, and that's just so rare.
That is, when you put it like that, and now I'm imagining like shows that I've been to, you know, back in the West, and yeah, I would not say that like intent and care are like the top of my list of adjectives to describe a normal audience.
I mean,
in the States or something.
I feel that way when I go to a show in the West. I'm like, okay, like I paid for a ticket, so show up and like entertain me, and then like I'll leave, and then I'll go get popcorn, and then I'll come back and have a drink and whatever.
Yeah,
but I think when people come to a show here and in Southeast Asia, I would even say there's a level of presence. There's a level of like, hey, you showed up for me, so I'm going to show up for you. And I think that's just so incredible and just so, it's not lost on me. Like, I think it's so special, and that's what part of the reason I love coming back here. It's just so much fun for me to play these shows.
We love to hear it. We'll have you back anytime you want to come back. Absolutely. Real quick here, we're going to be checking out another one of your tracks. This one, Could You Love Me? Real quick, you want to give us just kind of a primer for this one. Where did the inspiration for this track come from?
The song I wrote in January. There were some wildfires in Los Angeles, and I was evacuating our area, actually. And we ended up staying with some
that's
friends.
right. We had those fires earlier this year.
Wild.
Yeah.
We just moved to Los Angeles in October, and in between that, there was an election. There was wildfires, and then there's something else too. Oh my gosh, yeah, I won't even get into that. Yeah, but there's always stuff happening in LA. LA is a crazy place. But we had to evacuate our house because of these fires, and we ended up evacuating with a few of our close friends who are not songwriters, and we were all talking about a mutual friend and saying like, oh, this person's kind of a narcissist, and we were all going through a really, really tough time with them and how to have that conversation. And through that, I had a guitar and I started strumming some chords, and we just started like kind of about them, and it was great. It was we got through all the stuff and ended up processing a bunch of these emotions and like processed a bunch of this stuff, and this song was just that. It's talking about this person who couldn't love me like they love themselves.
That's I was going to say there is a, you know, if you just saw the title of the song, Could You Love Me, you might think like, oh yeah, it's like this hopeful love song, but there's a second part of the phrase there. Could you love me like you love yourself? And it's like, oh, that line, it really changes the whole thing, and it really cuts to that narcissism, absolutely. And I mean, I love to hear that you're out there, you're kind of hanging out with your friends and working through your feelings, and then you're like, I know what to do. Let's make a song.
Let's monetize it. Yeah.
I was just gonna say, you know, work your feelings out through music. But if you can also do that and get paid, hey, let's go. Let's go. Nothing wrong with that. Well, everybody, we are not done yet. 千万不要走. Do not go anywhere. First things first, we're going to be checking out this track, Could You Love Me? And after the break, we'll be back with more good chats, more good music. You know what to do. Keep it locked in. FM 100. Let's go.
You only need me when it works for you.
What's up? What's going on? How you doing? How you vibing? It is Sweet Talk here on Icrt, and it is a very, very special episode of Sweet Talk. Why? Because I am here in the studio, or rather, here in the studio with me is Elijah Woods. We've been talking all about his music, his tour. He just did a show here in Taipei last night, and tomorrow you're off to Seoul. Is that right?
Tonight, right after this.
Right after this, okay. Yeah. I'll make sure we don't go too late then. Make sure you get on your flight there. Busy. You have a few more stops on your tour here. And I think maybe, and correct me if I'm wrong, but one of the reasons maybe for this tour is to help promote a new album that you have coming out later this year. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, the album is called Can We Talk? And it is my debut album. We can talk. Yes, we can. And it was the culmination of a few years of songwriting and a lot of hours of trying to discover what I wanted to say and how I wanted to say it. And I think I came to kind of like the most honest version of who I am as a human today, and my outlook on having difficult conversations, which is what this album is all about. And those difficult conversations are anything from like telling somebody you love them for the first time, or somebody telling you, yo, your outfit sucks and you need to change that, and how you accept that and how do you like internalize that. It's like, do you get defensive and you get weird, or do you say, oh, that's probably out of love, like that's probably out of respect for who I am and this whole thing. So I think it's largely around maturity in conversations and having difficult conversations, and realizing that on the other side of those things is generally a better relationship and a more fruitful you.
Wow, honestly, that is so much more deep and like mature than I was expecting. No, don't take that as an insult. I wasn't expecting it to be shallow, but like, really digging into the themes of painful but oftentimes very necessary harder communication that you need to have with people, and like you said, whether that's something as big and as deep as love with a partner, or just an interaction with a friend, or maybe just an acquaintance, and trying to have a mature, level head, be empathetic about where they're coming from. Wow, what a great answer. And we were just talking just a second ago off the air during the break there. I did not know this, that you are also, not only are you composing, you're singing, you're also doing the production for this album. I mean, that is no small feat. Really, really not every musician that can do it all like that. So, was that a conscious choice to be like, oh, well, it's just natural for me to just do this? Or, how did that come to be that you're like, I'm doing the production on this thing?
I was a producer long before I was an artist, and that was kind of my gateway into this, even to sing. It's like I could always I could produce myself well enough that I could make demos and I could do the thing. So it was a natural progression for me to take the production and turn it into songs, but then my voice ended up being on them, which was awesome. So I produced everything I put out to date, with the exception of 2 songs, I think. So even then, there's like on this album, there's a few co-productions with a couple good friends of mine, some people I really, really trust. But I really kind of wanted to bring it back home and make sure that all the sounds were mine, and make sure that, especially as a debut album, it's like, here's who I am and here's sonically who I am. And I think there's a level of identity really woven into the production, and it is really intertwined with the songwriting as well. Nothing like, I think I wrote 150 songs for this album and narrowed it down to 11.
Oh my goodness gracious! Are you kidding me?
150. Yeah, it was a lot of songs, but I really, really fought for the ones that I loved, and it took me a while to figure out the palette for it, because it was it ended up kind of living in this like world of rubber bridge guitars, but not in a folky sense. And I wanted it to feel like, I don't know, if Gracie Abrams had like a breakbeat and was like kind of hitting you in your feelings a little bit harder with like super heavy subs and brighter electric guitars kind of layered on top. But I don't know. At the end of the day, it just feels like me, and the production is an extension of the song to me. Like, if somebody else is producing it, I'm sure the song would still be okay and still be good, even if I wrote it. Or like not good, but that's objective. But maybe true to me, the song would still be true to me. But for me, half of the identity of the song is woven into the production. Is the production process. And as you mentioned, that's kind of where you got your start in some ways musically. So I think that all checks out. That makes a lot of sense that you would want to have that agency and that vision to make a cohesive album. I mean, you've already put out quite a bit of music, quite a bit of singles and some EPs, but this is the debut whole album, and that's just so exciting. It's coming out October 14th, is that right? October 14th. Yeah. Can we talk the name of the album? Everybody, please be keeping your eyes and ears out for that. Obvious, simple question here, but something we definitely want to get out there. How can people follow you? What are your socials here? My socials are Elijah Woods Music on every platform, so you can check me out on there. Look me up on the interwebs. Do it. Easy enough. Elijah Woods, and on all the stuffs, right? The TikToks, the Instagrams, the this and that. Yeah. Heck yeah. I'm Elijah Woods Music across everything. So if you're listening, I appreciate you, and hopefully see you on socials.
Absolutely. Well, we talked a little bit about the production process and kind of getting that sound that you want. I just, for me personally, listening to you, not even on this next one, we're going to be checking out a song that is off of the new album, but even some of your earlier stuff, there's this, it's kind of this like paradoxical quality, I feel like, where you sound, you have this big, deep sound, and it sounds like it could really fill up this huge space. But at the same time, it's like really intimate and crisp, and you're kind of right there. You know, it feels like you're right there in the room. And so I was just struck by that. Like that's not an easy thing to kind of pull off both of those things at once. Like, oh, this could be, you know, echoing out in a stadium, or it's like someone just sitting right next to you on the couch with a guitar singing to you. It's a really, like, well done.
Thank
well
you,
done.
man. I really appreciate that. That's the first time I've ever heard that, and I like that a lot. I think one thing I recognized about music that I like, and the music of mine that I like the most is, and I'm going to paraphrase, there's a really good quote about it, but sometimes the most important thing in a song is the silence, and I love the space around that. Like what you're just talking about is like sometimes you don't need to be loud to get your point across, and sometimes you don't need to say the most amount of words to get your point across. And I think that's what I really tried to hold on to with this album, is maybe not overwriting and leaving lots of space for somebody to sing along with you. I was in a session a little while ago, and somebody said this to me, and I was like, oh, that's so smart. They were like, if you can't leave space for somebody else to sing with you, then the song is too busy. And I was like, that's crazy. Because like most hit songs, there's two lines that, like, even psychologically, you're going to either sing along with the main line or you're going to sing the harmony line. But there's always space for one other person to sing that. And if it's too busy, if there's too much going on and the listener can't think about what they're singing, then it doesn't work, which is really weird.
I've never thought about that explicitly, but I think there's a lot of wisdom in that. Yeah, kind of leaving room in your music for the listener to kind of project themselves into it and be a part of it.
I mean,
yeah.
I think when I listen to my favorite songs, I'm like, I gotta make it about me, as
yeah,
do,
right, yeah. You know, with all great art, you know, if you can't relate to it, you can't put yourself into it in some way, well, it's not going to resonate with you. So I think that makes all kinds of sense. Oh my goodness gracious, we are just about out of time. We got just a couple minutes left, and we'll be checking out your track "Ghost on the Radio." Two things real quick. First one, I was just wondering if you have any advice for other aspiring musicians out there. Anything that you've picked up in your many years of being a DJ, a producer, a singer, all of that. Yeah. What do you have to say as far as advice goes?
I feel like the most important one I always come back to, just for me, not like I would even give it as advice to anybody, but like, good humans always win. I think that's always the message that I try to hold on to. It's like, you can be the most talented person in the world, but if you're a pain, then nobody wants to hang out with you. Nobody wants to work with you. Nobody wants to come to your shows. Like, nobody wants to do the thing. Like, you can be the most talented human in the world, but if you suck, then nobody's going to want to chill. Nobody's going to want to hang out. So be a good person first. And then I would say secondly, the thing I always come back to is like, you got to just trust yourself. Like, you got to trust your gut and trust your situation. And that comes with keeping good people around you who like validate that a little bit. But I would say trusting yourself more so than asking the question sometimes is more important. Just making sure that you're really feeling it. And when you put out a song or you put out a lyric or whatever that thing is do I like this? And if you like it, then it's good enough.
Very wise words. I don't have really much else to add to that, Elijah. You nailed it. It has been so fun hanging out here with you, and I wish you all the best on your travels. You got to go catch a flight later. We're going to be checking out Ghost on the Radio. This is off of that new album, Can We Talk? Check it out. October 14th, coming in hot very soon. Once again, thank you so much, Elijah.
Appreciate you, man.
Coming in strong, I wanna know why I can't let you go. I still hear your ghost on the radio, ghost on the radio, I wanna know why I can't let you go. I still hear your ghost on the radio, ghost on the radio.